Good morning and welcome to My Left Ear. I am Carrie Freeman, the writer, producer, director of My Left Ear, as I like to say. It is January 7th, 2021, the day after the insurrection. So I'm back to politics. I'm going to talk about the fallout and just kind of spit out predictions and thoughts and comments, and we're back into it. So let's get started. I like to say this is called My Left Ear because I receive a lot of psychic information from the left side, and everything is for entertainment purposes today. Need to make that clear for you too. I do privately psychic coaching and therapeutic hypnosis. And I also coach writing and performance because I have a background in writing and performance, and I love doing all of it. And I want to thank you for your subscriptions because the site is growing. We're growing. So wouldn't it be nice if I got more subscriptions? Now, I just want to say right now, it's like there's a rubber band and we're pulling the rubber band and it's very tense, and one side is yang and one side is yin, yang being aggressive, and it's going to snap, and it's going to snap back to yin, which is the energy of Joe Biden and his administration. You know, gentle, caring, not passive, but grounded, intelligent, inclusive. We've been at this extreme, and now boing, it's going to snap back. So it's going to snap back to the point of least resistance. I'm wearing glasses today because my eyes felt a little fuzzy, and I think there's a reflection. I actually have to get some glasses that don't reflect. I'm going to take them off and see if I can read my notes properly. So we'll see. Hello. Anyway, let's start with yesterday's insurrection. And I looked up the word because we have these words, sedition, insurrection, coup, and a lot of people are saying insurrection. So it's a violent uprising against an authority or a government. Per my research, it appears that 3 people died. I'm not sure if that's completely accurate, so let's wait. We know that this one woman died, and she was part of the insurrection, and she charged the Capitol and got shot. We will wait, but this was very, very serious. Very, very serious. MLE believes that Trump knew everything, and I think that Trump created a situation where the police opened the gate, because if the police had not opened the gate, there would not have been the surge of all these crazy ass people. But you see on Twitter, who okayed that? I think it came directly from Trump. Personally, MLE thinks it came directly from Trump personally. Why were there minimal police? Again, I believe that was planned. I believe that was created. MLE, my left ear, believes all these people were involved because Trump couldn't do this on his own. I believe Roger Stone, Rudy Giuliani, even Bannon came out of the ashes to help. I mean, didn't Bannon's name wasn't it all over this thing? His footprint. And I just found out that there's proof that Don Jr. knew, because he was reportedly, he said, this is the quote, Jr. excitedly used T- countdown language, indicating they were anticipating what was to come. This is no surprise, right? Why didn't the FBI know more? That's a big question. It's not just the MLE question. It's Everybody's posing that. But as of today, Paul Irving, who oversees the Capitol Police, resigned. And there's a number of people that have resigned, are resigning. I didn't make a list, but it's happening every day. They're just falling off the tree. So this is a little disappointing, if I'm correct. I'm not always correct, but MLE doesn't really think Trump is going to get impeached over the next 2 weeks. And I don't think they're going to be able to put, when I say I'm talking about like we, that's my left ear and me, that there's not going to be a 25th Amendment. There's very little time. We don't think that they can get enough people on board. But Trump can do more damage in the next couple of weeks. He'll do more pardons. I think it would be wonderful to slap him with the impeachment, the 25th Amendment, so he can't pardon himself or his kids. It would really put him in a double bind. So we'll see. We know, of course, on January 20th, we have a new administration coming in and Trump will be gone, but he won't be silent. We know now, as of today, Facebook shut him down permanently. Instagram shut Trump down permanently. It would be wonderful if Jack Dorsey with Twitter shut Trump down for the next 2 weeks. So here's something really good that I've been wanting to just shout about. We won the Senate. Ossoff and Warnock won, and Mitch got demoted. He lost his power. And I know everybody that was watching this, because I got notes, were saying, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? And I just want to thank you for joining this movement of wouldn't it be nice. So Mitch has lost his power. Ding dong, the Mitch is dead. And just so I don't offend anybody, I mean that figuratively. Ding dong, the Mitch is dead, figuratively, like from The Wizard of Oz, of course. So now the Senate is 50-50, and any tiebreakers will be Kamala Harris will come in and break the ties. And a lot of policies and stimulus and things that Joe Biden wants to do are going to go much more smoothly now that we don't have this obstruction going on. It's so exciting. That when they finally announced that Ossoff won and it wouldn't have to be recounted, he won by enough margin. It's just the biggest game changer, people. I know you know that. I'm still so excited about it. And the other thing is, Warnock and Ossoff are just the greatest candidates. I mean, they are such great material for the Senate. They're such good men. So the new AG is actually Merrick Garland. And Merrick Garland was announced the minute Warnock and Ossoff got in. And that's what I told you guys. I said, he's waiting to see, Biden is waiting to see what's going to happen in the Senate. And, you know, I was leaning towards Sally Yates because we thought, well, she's a fantastic candidate, right, for the AG. My left ear thought that Biden would be going for the polar opposite of that previous AG. And physically, in every possible way, Sally Yates kind of fit that. But I want to share with you that a few days ago, I got a hit. My left ear got a new hit, but I didn't record it, so you'll just have to take my word for it. Believe me, I'm being honest. All of a sudden it went, wait a minute, we're going to be surprised. I'm not so sure it's Sally Yates now. I think it's a male, and I think Joe is going to surprise us a little bit. Now, Merrick Garland was on the list, so it was not shocking, but so I wasn't that surprised because I had gotten this message. I just didn't get to record it and share it with you guys. I didn't know it was going to be Merrick Garland. I just thought it would be a little bit of a surprise and it would be a male. He's a very esteemed man, Merrick Garland, and he sort of has this, I don't know, nice guy vibe about him. And I imagine some people are concerned that he won't be aggressive enough. But if you look at his background and where he's come from and that he's been a judge, let's just trust Joe Biden's choice, okay? Joe is doing really good. He's making really good choices. And he made a beautiful speech today when he did the announcement about Merrick Garland and some other people. So there we go with that. A great little side note that probably most of you know, but when Obama was president, he wanted to put Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court. And Mitch McConnell went out of his way very aggressively to prevent that. And Mitch even went so far as to say one of his greatest accomplishments was blocking Merrick Garland. So for Joe Biden to make Merrick Garland the new AG on the very day that Mitch loses his ultimate power in the Senate is poetic. I want to call it, it's poetry. We don't know what was going on in Joe's mind, but to me, it's just poetic justice. All right, so we do need a Trump crime commission. And I know that Glenn Kirshner, who's a favorite of mine and some of you, and Eric Swalwell have talked about this, and I believe it's going to happen. There's so much to investigate that you do need the commission, and I would guess, I don't know, that they would work under the AG. So let's say, wouldn't it be nice if there was a Trump crime commission? Let's just go there. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a Trump crime commission? That would be really good. So I do want to say something about when Trump called the Secretary of State in Georgia, they had placed 18 calls so that Trump could talk to him, and the Secretary of Georgia avoided him. But finally, the Secretary, Raffensperger, I think, said, okay, if we're going to do this, let's just record it in case we're misquoted or whatever. So he and his lawyer did that. And if you listen to the recording, the Secretary of State and his attorney hardly said anything. They had one-word answers. Sir, I don't think you have the right data. No. I mean, yes. I mean, they were because they knew they were recording, and Trump just shot himself in the foot like he always does. He's got a lot of holes in his foot from shooting so many times. One thing that struck me is how he lashed out at Stacey Abrams. It was so misogynist, racist, and, he's like, I can't believe that she, So what he's saying is, I can't believe a black woman outsmarted us. So sad, so insulting. Stacey Abrams is a national treasure. She is. About the inauguration, we have been so traumatized, those of us who are on, the left side or the moderate side or the independent side, that I don't think a lot of us realize that there'll be this switch in energy, like a light switch on January 20th, because it's such sudden, dramatic change. It's like that rubber band, boom, it's going to snap on January 20th. Back. So be prepared for the light switch. And I'll tell you who's not prepared for the light switch is Donald Trump. He doesn't have a foresight. He's an impulse guy. He does not realize when the lights are turned off on his bully pulpit, on the Rose Garden, on the Oval Office, on his Twitter, he's going to implode. I mean, he's just going to cave. And I am going to go so far as to say, I think he'll get physically, I think he'll deteriorate more physically and mentally. I'm one of the people that do believe he has frontal temporal dementia. Watching, listening, and talking to Tom Joseph via his podcast, etc., has pretty much convinced me of that. So Trump will want to keep like this whole thing going because he wants to keep making money, but I think he's really going to deteriorate when he doesn't get that attention and that adulation that he needs and he craves. It's like food. The seditionists, the insurgency people, but the seditionists, meaning the political ones, the senators and stuff, I think their names are going to end up on a wall. I think this is a tattoo now. They have a tattoo. They were the ones that came out against democracy, against a totally fair presidential election. So that's their permanent stain. So let's talk for a minute about the Southern District of New York. I follow the wonderful Attorney General Letitia James. She's a powerhouse too. And she's putting out tweets, and she's keeping an evil eye on everything that Trump is doing. So you might wonder, when will indictments drop on Trump from the SDNY? My left ear thinks very quickly, before Trump makes plans. I don't think he's going to leave the country, but Palm Beach doesn't want him. There's a whole group of people that are saying, keep him out of Mar-a-Lago. I call it Mara-Fargo, just because it's my sense of humor. And Scotland doesn't want him there playing golf. I wouldn't be surprised if Melania doesn't just move back to New York because she loves it there and puts Barron back in school in New York. We think that's a possibility. Let me tell you who's not going to be president in 2024. Josh Hawley will not be president in 2024. He just killed it. Ted Cruz will not be president in 2020. Mike Pence will not be president. Mike Pompeo will not be president. And Nikki Haley will not be president. My left ear thinks it will be Biden. And if Biden chooses not to continue, it will be Kamala Harris. So now we're just in a situation where we're waiting for January 20th. We're hoping and praying that yesterday was the worst of it, but I'm not so sure of that because we have a mentally deranged president who will light a match. He'll light a match. He's trying to light a match. So we just have to stay in this positive frame, turn it over to the experts, and know that better days are coming. But let me tell you, January 20th is the light switch. Boing! The lights are going on. That rubber band is being released, and it's going to snap back. So that's where we are. This is my share. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was helpful. I'm sure I'm leaving something out, and if I do, I'll catch up on the next video. But here's the quote, and it's just one quote today because it's such a good quote. I was switching channels. I don't know how it happened, but I ended up watching a man making a speech to a group of people. And I went, wait a minute, he looks familiar. And then very quickly, I realized who he was. His name is Frank Abagnale Jr. Might sound familiar, but he is the man, they made the movie Catch Me If You Can about him, because when he was a teenager, he forged checks and he impersonated doctors and airline pilots. Very brilliant, outrageous kid. And he was caught and he was put in prison. And then the FBI brought him in because I think they recognize his genius to work with them. So now this man who was a criminal is now a consultant, and he's been a consultant for the FBI for like over 40 years. He is fascinating. It was a fascinating lecture. I was glued to it. He passed the bar exam without going to law school. And then he ended up working, I don't remember what state it was, as a law clerk. He says he's not genius, but I think he is. Here's his simple quote. The law sometimes sleeps, but the law never dies. It's really great. The law sometimes sleeps, but the law never dies. So there you have it. We'll see what comes up. I'll be back for more. And as always, make peace, make good memories, and bye-bye. Here we go. Bye-bye, guys.